From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anthony Mack. Kristen is on assignment tonight. Thanks for joining us. We begin with some breaking news tonight. Police say a car crashed into a building in Duluth's Lakeside neighborhood. Authorities say the driver was injured and taken to the hospital. No word on their condition. A resident who was shaken up but did not appear to be injured was also taken to the hospital, according to police. Crews were called to the Ecumen Lakeshore Assisted Living Facility on London Road shortly before 9 o'clock tonight. That's where we find CBS 3's Natalie Grant. She joins us live there. Natalie, what do we know?
Yeah, Tony, I am out here at Ecumen Lakeshore Assisted Living right off of London Road in Duluth, where a car has gone 30 feet into the building here. Now, I'm going to step out of the way so you can get a better image of what they are working with here. As you can see, there is quite a large hole in the building. Authorities tell us that the driver did crash through the building, go 30 feet into it, into the hallway and through two apartments. Now, with that, the driver was injured and taken to the hospital and was unresponsive when crews were able to get to him. The occupants of the apartment itself were uninjured. However, were taken to the hospital due to some shaken upness, as you can imagine. Now, they do not believe that there were any drugs or alcohol involved in this incident, and they are currently working to pull the car out of the building here. As you can see, creating a lot of room. They are going to be bringing in crews to be able to drag that car out here soon. Now, as I said, there were one injuries of that driver, and they were taken to the hospital along with the resident of the apartment here. This is a developing story, and we'll continue to bring you the latest as they come.
Certainly a startling scene there in Duluth's Lakeside at Ecumen Lakeshore tonight, Natalie. We'll be sure to keep this story updated on air and online as more details do become available. Natalie Grant for us live tonight. Thanks, Natalie. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is following suit today with neighboring Wisconsin, lifting some restrictions when it comes to the state's stay-at-home order. That includes allowing golf courses to open statewide. It's major news for those ready to get outdoors and hit the links. CBS 3's Jesse Slater heard from a local course today about how they're preparing to open in the era of social distancing.
As the COVID-19 pandemic is keeping most people inside, some are ready for some fresh air.
The whole crew, everyone here was very excited.
The governor's order, a huge relief for more than 300 members of Northland Country Club in Duluth.
This will be a great reprieve to get out there in the open air and get some exercise and do what they love. They love to golf.
Though the course is opening, it's not without some new cleaning guidelines.
There will be sanitization of range balls, sanitizing the carts when we do put carts on the course.
And of course, the enforcement of social distancing.
We will separate tee times, limit it to 4 people in a group. If we were using carts, it would be 1 person per cart unless they came from the same household.
The opening allows the country club to bring back 25 full-time staff members who had been previously laid off.
Staff we do bring on will watch a COVID-19 video, how to keep themselves safe and to keep others safe.
The course's opening was originally going to be next week, but will now be tomorrow due to popular demand.
Very thankful to be able to get the course open and keep everyone safe. That's the #1 priority.
Northland Country Club is a private golf course. We did reach out to Anger and Lester public courses in Duluth, but have not heard back on an opening date. All right, Dave joins us for a quick look at the weather. Dave, what's the weekend looking like for us?
Well, I think the weekend's going to be looking fairly decent, Tony. It may be a little bit cloudier on Saturday than Sunday, but it'll also be warmer on Saturday than Sunday as well. So on that note, here I am on the deck once again, and it's frankly the warmest night of the week. Don't have to wear my cap. Down 2 layers to only 2 rather than 4. All in all, conditions are getting better all the time. The current conditions around our region include 30 for a current temp in Hibbing, 31 in Hayward, 40 Baudette. Now, most towns have a clear sky up above, but we do have a low pressure system pushing towards us, and so the cloudier sky you're seeing in International Falls overnight should fill into the rest of the region, and that's what will help set us up for that chance of the rain that we're getting here on portions of our weekend. Tonight, look for the clouds to increase just in case you're out in the middle of the night with your eye to the sky. Then you can see them. Low temp will be 32. That's a good 10-15 degrees warmer than it was this morning. Saturday, sure, we do get the 30% rain shower chance. Shouldn't add up to much. High temp will go to 53. Sunday, a little sunnier, a little bit cooler. Will that be the trend for the rest of the 7-day? I'll show it to you coming up in just a couple more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. New at 10, skyrocketing unemployment during the COVID-19 pandemic means people are struggling to pay for some of the basics. According to the National Multifamily Housing Council, 16% of all families living in apartments were unable to pay rent between April 1st and 12th. Experts say the numbers for the month of May could be worse. Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is introducing legislation that would cancel rent payments for people impacted by the crisis for the duration of the pandemic. It would not be a rent suspension where the renter would have to pay rent back. Eventually, it would be a rent cancellation that would be universally accessible.
We know right now, really, there isn't a set timeline when we expect for Congress to be back and to take on the next relief package. We think it might happen in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And so that actually gives us an opportunity to push for this, because in 2 weeks, there's another rent that is due.
In her legislation, the federal government would cover rent payments so that lenders would still get their money. Today, thousands took to the streets in St. Paul protesting Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's stay-at-home order. As Reg Chapman explains, many are concerned about their businesses, livelihood, and more.
Some of Minnesota is pushing back.
Freedom and liberty. We're losing it.
Against the stay-at-home order that has left many shut out of a job during this COVID-19 crisis.
I feel like our jobs are all essential in the state of Minnesota, and I don't feel like any governor, even Governor Walz or anybody else, can't determine who or when we decide we want to go to work or where we work or anything like that.
Carrying signs saying "Liberate Minnesota," they are asking Governor Walz to allow all Minnesotans to go back to work. The majority of the crowd was not following social distancing guidelines. Many also didn't have masks on. What they did have was a determination to get everyone in the state back to work. Former Congressman now running for U.S. Senate Jason Lewis showed his support for the protesters. He tweeted, "Minnesota is being held hostage and we must reopen, and we must do it now." This group of President Trump supporters wants immediate action. They want their lives back, and they say that begins by getting everyone back to work.
I'm a small business owner, and my business was shut down forcibly on the 17th of March, and I have yet to see any unemployment, any money come through from the government, and I'm sitting here without a paycheck with no definitive answer on when I will be returning to work, and I don't think that's right.
In a daily briefing Friday, Governor Walz said he respects the right to protest, but said those involved should practice safe social distancing. Meanwhile, President Trump seems to be supporting those protesting in St. Paul this morning. He tweeted, quote, "Liberate Minnesota." He published similar tweets for other states like Michigan, where protesters are also asking to reopen the economy. We did reach out to Congressman Pete Stauber. In a statement, he says he is equally as concerned about local businesses, but wants to responsibly open back up the economy. Meanwhile, the president of the Minnesota Nurses Association, Mary Turner, is thanking Minnesotans for buying hospitals time to prepare. But she's also stressing how real the virus is and its devastating impacts on patients and families.
I don't know how many calls I've had during the middle of the night. Family begging to see their family members, asking us to, can you just please put the phone up to their ear so we can tell them we love them.
Turner asked Minnesotans to continue working to slow the spread so hospitals don't get overwhelmed with patients. Meanwhile, the state of Minnesota is also coordinating a homemade mask drive. They're asking people making masks to drop extras at their local fire station. The event is next Saturday, April 25th from 10 to 2. They will be handed out to people in need. Welcome news for local restaurants. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz signed a bill today allowing businesses to offer to-go alcohol. Patrick Moore, owner of Vabene Cafe in Duluth, admits when the stay-at-home order was put in place, business has been slow ever since. And not being able to sell alcohol has played a pretty significant role in that. He says alcohol sales make up about 30% of the cafe's total business. With that possibly being changed, Moore is looking forward to gaining that source of income back.
I think this will certainly help. We have been getting along all right so far. People have been coming out to support us, which is something we're very excited about and hope that people will continue to do, especially here in Duluth. We have a great community of people that think locally and act locally and spend locally, and so I think this will only further our success through this difficult time.
The change allows customers to purchase 6 12-ounce cans of beer, seltzer, or cider, or 1 standard bottle of wine. New at 10, an update to a deadly crash we reported yesterday. Ashland County authorities are now investigating it as a homicide, calling it a drug deal gone wrong. The crash happened around 7 Wednesday night, about 20 miles east of Ashland, Wisconsin. Authorities say during a drug deal, a 16-year-old and 21-year-old got into a fight. Eventually, the car crashed into a tree. The 16-year-old was driving, but it's unclear if the Ford was inside or outside the vehicle. We've asked authorities to clarify. Ford did die at the scene. Authorities say the 16-year-old was charged with first-degree reckless homicide today and is the only one in custody. Yesterday, Ashland County authorities said 3 teens had turned themselves in. No word from law enforcement tonight about what led up to a high-speed chase on Interstate 35 near Cloquet. We first learned about the incident at about 5 o'clock this evening. At that point, Cloquet police had warned drivers to stay out of the I-35 northbound lanes. No word on what led to the pursuit or if it's over at this point. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, we're tagging along with a truck driver whose job has only gotten more demanding amidst the pandemic. And later, a Minnesota nurse has been called to help a hospital in New York battle COVID-19. We're hearing directly from her.
Coming together makes us stronger. And Ford is built to lend a hand, especially now, with 6-month payment relief. Buy a new Ford. We'll defer 3 payments and make 3 payments for peace of mind up to 6 months. Shop at Ford.com or contact your Ford dealer to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. You have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you.
We asked real customers what they really love about Spectrum Internet and TV.
Spectrum Internet has the fastest speeds for everything I do.
There is no turning wheel. It's immediate.
Spectrum is the fastest. Bam.
Get the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance with Spectrum Internet, delivering starting speeds of 100 megabits. That's more than enough for all your devices for $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
I can't get over how much on-demand Spectrum has. I can literally watch a new movie every night.
I got all my shows, and he's got all his shows.
With the Spectrum TV app, I can watch live TV anywhere. It's perfect.
Add Spectrum TV and enjoy more free HD and more free on-demand. Plus, use the Spectrum TV app to watch live TV on the go, all from $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
The fact that they don't have contracts, that says a lot about their service.
Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Install Spectrum services yourself. Get a self-installation kit shipped right to your home. Call 833-906-4499.
Take on your to-do list. Right now, get a free FSKM trimmer attachment with purchase of any combi motor and 1 attachment. Not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Always at a local steel dealer.
Our goal is an environment of decency, quality, and mutual respect for all human beings and all other living creatures. It's tremendously encouraging to see all across this country the remarkable interest on an issue, which is not only just an issue of survival, but an issue of how we survive.
A small idea, a world of change. Join us on April 22nd to commemorate 50 years of Earth Day.
My 95.7 is the Northland's best variety all day. From Ed Sheeran and Maroon 5 to Lady Gaga and Bryan Adams. Always family and office friendly. My 95.7, your life, your music.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS 3 Duluth.
We Northlanders certainly are a patient bunch. You know, it usually takes 4.5 to even 5.5 months for winter to end around here. And this past week, we've been patiently waiting for a cold snap to end and temperatures to get back to normal. According to our almanac today, we made progress towards that goal, but we're still not quite there yet. So let's get a look at the almanac, and it shows the normal high temperature today. It's 50 degrees, but today, what did we achieve, at least here in the Twin Ports? Really only 45 degrees. So we're almost there. Tomorrow, I think we'll finally accomplish our goal. If only for a day, we'll crack 50 and maybe push it up to 53, 55 degrees, at least for a couple of towns. Record high temp for the date, it's 82 degrees. The record low is 8 above. And just the other morning, a lot of towns were pretty close to that 8 above mark. So the cold snap was here. It's fading away. And we're getting towards spring slowly and semi-surely. Right now at the airport in Duluth, 36 degrees to report. Southwest winds going 8 miles per hour. That southwesterly wind will be one of the agents that helps warm us back up to normal here for for our Saturday, but a southwest wind's often a sign of a low pressure system approaching, and that's what we get on tap tomorrow, all right. A small low increasing the clouds and kicking up a slight chance for a little bit of rain shower activity. According to the latest Doppler, there have been some sprinkles to the south and west of our region here this evening as that lower pressure system gets closer, but in general, the high pressure cell that's been with us for a day or two still with us for a little while longer, keeping us on the dry side and the clear side for a couple more hours perhaps, but that will fade away, and that trough of lower pressure you see riding along the Canadian border, again, will give us a partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky here for our Saturday, and a 30% chance for some rain showers to boot. But farther to the west, there's already another high slated to come in by Sunday, and we may cool down a hair, but we'll also get just a little bit more sunny again. So sort of a split weekend with a couple of clouds here and a little bit of sunshine there. Now we take a look at the forecast for Minnesota tonight, where we'll see that low temps will run the range of much warmer than they were this morning. Yeah, we're looking at about 30 to 35 degrees with increasing clouds and that southwesterly wind. Sliding over towards Wisconsin and the UP, low temps there won't be that much drastically different than Minnesota. I think about 30 to 32 degrees. And now taking a look at the forecast for tomorrow for Wisconsin and Michigan. The sunshine probably will fade away. Clouds will get a little bit thicker, but those temperatures, they get a little fatter and sassier, 53 to 57 degrees, along with that 30% rain shower chance. Tomorrow's southwesterly wind could go up towards 20 miles per hour, so just a little bit breezy. Into Minnesota for our Saturday. High temps upper 40s, inland to maybe 55 down towards Moose Lake. 30% chance for the showers will be about all we get here for the weekend, because by Sunday, I do think higher pressure settles back in for Sunday to clear up the sky once again. Temperatures will step back a few degrees into the 40s, but that's not so bad. Then for the rest of the week, it looks like one day gets some showers, next day get some sun, one day's 40s, one day's 50s. We follow that trend, Tony, for the rest of the week all the way through next Friday.
Thanks, Dave. During the COVID-19 pandemic, truck drivers are making sure all our packages get delivered, our grocery stores are stocked, and everything else gets where it needs to go. CBS3's Emma Quinn spoke with the Halver Lines today about what challenges they face out on the road.
Heading out on the road. Looks a little different for the truck drivers at Halver Lines in Superior as the COVID-19 pandemic continues.
Our whole operations has changed. Our drivers are still out running.
Changes to operations include extra sanitizing efforts and allowing drivers to plan their trips more independently.
We've did things as far as opening up our fuel network to allow the drivers to fuel where they would like, let them plan their trips a little better.
For driver Julie Simonson, she's mapping out her trips ahead of time and using her bed in the truck more often as rest stops are closed in certain states she travels through.
I know how often I have to stop and such, so I place myself where I need to be. But I imagine it's probably difficult restroom-wise when they're shut down.
Simonson says the loading and unloading process has changed due to the companies she's making deliveries to being short-staffed, which can add extra time to her routes.
When we go through the gates, we have a number of procedures we now have to go through in order to get into the yards to be loaded.
Hammond says business has slowed down slightly, but demand for supplies is still there, and drivers are continuing to hit the road.
The drivers are very willing and wanting to work, so we're trying to keep the work in front of them.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, life on the front lines. We're hearing from a Minnesota nurse helping one of New York's hardest hit areas.
CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
The nursing program at Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is really challenging, but it has to be. It's approved by the Board of Nursing. And graduates here have been successfully passing the state board exam. They give you real-world experience with healthcare institutions across the community. I'm really glad I chose Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College.
Through all the world events since 1936, Culligan Water has continued to provide better, safer water with our filtration systems for homes and businesses. These days, as a designated essential business, Culligan's water professionals are standing by ready to help.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
What is the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
When news happens, CBS3 is there. We're cutting in with a follow-up to some breaking news.
Anytime, day or night. Some more cases of the coronavirus are popping up across the Northland.
The only confirmed cases in northeastern Minnesota.
Not go shopping today unless you absolutely must. Do not collect any supplies or equipment unless you absolutely need it today.
The Northland has seen its first coronavirus-related death.
For breaking stories that impact the Northland most, tune to CBS 3.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
I chose a career that isn't easy, it's dangerous, and it's hard. Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College has set me up with everything I need to succeed. Through challenging classes, longer defensive tactics training, and instructors who work in the industry, Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is setting me up for success.
Take up to 25% off Key now at NorthwestOutlet.com.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS 3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS 3 Duluth. Get your news on the go, the CBS 3 mobile app.
A Minneapolis nurse in New York City right now fighting COVID-19 shared her experiences on the front lines. Lysis DeGracia is finishing up her second week of 13 working at Elmhurst Hospital in Queens. David Schumann explains what it's like to work in one of the hardest hit areas in the country.
Lisette DeGracia says she wouldn't believe how bad the situation is if she wasn't seeing it firsthand.
There's patients everywhere. There's hallways have become patient care areas. Beds are so close, you're sometimes stepping on one to get food.
In her 2 weeks at Elmhurst Hospital in New York City, Lisette says she's seen more death than in the rest of her nursing career combined.
You can't save everyone. I think it has a lot more to do with the severity of the virus.
The decision to take a leave from Children's Hospital and go to New York was relatively straightforward. Where would she be of the most use?
My kids were proud of me. My mom was proud of me. Everyone was rooting for me, and it just felt like it was happened for a reason.
Lisette joined in on a vigil this week to grieve with her new coworkers. COVID-19 has taken the lives of 6 Elmhurst employees.
They will never be forgotten. We fought very hard with every strength in our body to keep you alive.
There's a strong sense of unity, I think, in the healthcare field in general.
Lisette is able to offer a reason for possible hope.
It's been a little bit slower the last couple of days. Still not normal, but it hasn't been what it was.
She feels no matter what, patients will never get turned away. Hospitals will make it work.
We're going to win this fight, and it's really unfortunate the way it has to happen, but we're not going to ever stop trying no matter how long this takes.
DeGracia says the most difficult sacrifice for her is being apart from her children. When she finishes her 13 weeks in New York, she'll have to wait another 2 weeks before being able to see them. Ahead in sports, the WNBA draft shows us what virtual drafting looks like. Kelly Hinseth has more next.
who has the experience and years that Dave has. His experience, that's something that's really special to CBS3.
He worked his way up from janitor up to a weather guy.
He's just like this bastion of knowledge.
Get to know Dave Anderson weekday nights on Live Local CBS3.
I want people to tune in, and I want them to see a friend, because I'm a mother and I know how hard it can be. You're doing all these things and then you have the child and then no one talks to you about how lonely it can be. You know, who do you lean to? Who do you connect with? This segment is very important to me because I get to work, but I also get to work on my passion.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with Leanne Valdez on CBS3.
Understanding the world begins with the right questions.
Do you trust Kim Jong-un?
Doesn't the blame reside with Jewel? Is it now our top terrorist threat?
With the right people.
So you have forgiven?
I have now. Right here.
Check this out.
More news.
I'm Tony DeCoppel with CBS News.
More original reporting.
It puts everything in perspective.
We are on a mission with NASA.
Every morning on CBS This Morning.
We're going to begin with breaking news.
Come on down for big laughs.
Hello, everybody. I like those glasses.
Trying to imitate you.
Come on down for rip-roaring fun.
Amazing. You made it.
Come on down for spectacular surprises.
$35,000. Just won $200,000.
Oh, yeah. It's a new car. You need this in your life.
Yes. Boy, is it going to be a good hour.
The Price is Right. Weekday CBS Daytime.
On behalf of the over 400,000 accredited businesses that support our services across North America, BBB salutes those individuals who cannot shelter in place. Many remain on the front lines, delivering essential services, often at great risk and sacrifice, to enrich or save lives in this time of desperate need. Thank you. Eventually, the all clear will sound, and we will begin returning to normal. Hopefully, we will never forget how much we missed our normal while it was away.
Welcome back into sports. Well, we finally got a taste of what virtual drafting in this new realm of sports will look like as the WNBA draft got underway tonight on ESPN. The Minnesota Lynx had two picks tonight, the 6th and the 16th overall pick, both in the first and second rounds, respectively. With the 6th overall pick, Lynx selected Micaiah Herbert Harrigan, a forward from South Carolina. Herbert Harrigan, the 6'2" forward, averaged 13 points, 5.5 rebounds, and just under 2 blocks per game this past season with her senior year with the Gamecocks. With the 16th overall pick, the Lynx selected guard Crystal Dangerfield out of Connecticut. Dangerfield started 30 games for UConn as a senior this past season, averaging 14.9 points, 3.9 assists, 3.7 rebounds per game while shooting 41% from the three-point range. The Lynx also made a trade. Erica Ogomoke was acquired from the New York Liberty in exchange for Stephanie Talbot. And at the draft, the league honored the lives of Gianna Bryant, Alyssa Altabelli, Peyton Chester with honorary picks at the draft as well. The three were among the 9 killed in a January 27th helicopter crash that also killed NBA Hall of Famer Kobe Bryant. Vanessa Bryant posted a message on Instagram listing the 3 girls as the class of 2024. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert read their names in alphabetical order with a shot of their WNBA jerseys. It was a pretty sweet moment before the draft got underway tonight. Well, with the cancellation of spring sports seasons, it's left athletes down in the cities and up here in the Northland with some questions as to where their season's gonna go. We have more on how these athletes are dealing with this here.
Yeah, I'm pretty bummed out. And this training is pretty demoralizing.
It's tough for seniors Sean Baird, Gus Hubble, and junior Ethan Bernstein to keep training for their non-existent track and field season. But they know they have to be prepared in case it starts back up.
We're just trying to keep the fitness up at this point.
We're ready to go if anything comes up. If the season did start, it'd feel really nice.
Josh Thoreau, the athletic director for Minnehaha Academy, says he's been working with the other ADs in his conference to put together a condensed spring sports season for high school athletes.
And we've gone ahead and scheduled conference seasons
for all of our sports.
Baseball and softball seasons at Minnehaha Academy normally have about 20 games this season. Now, if school returns on May 5th, the athletic director is hopeful he can get about 10 to 12 games in.
Typically, a coach will say, hey, we don't want to play 3 or 4 games in 1 week. Well, that goes out the window now. We're going to play, every chance we get.
Eric Martins with the Minnesota State High School League says it's still too early to make any official decisions on section and state tournaments, but the league is not ruling them out yet.
Going beyond the end of June or that 4th of July timeframe isn't wise and wouldn't really be supported. And so we see an end time being the end of June if we can put something together.
These athletes would rather have a season than not, but they're remaining realistic.
I understand that this COVID thing isn't really going away.
The situation at hand right now is a lot bigger than just like Minnesota's track and field, you know what I mean?
That is going to do it for sports tonight. We'll be right back after the break.
CBS3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health. Choose to make a healthy difference in people's lives and join our team. Visit EssentiaCareers.org.
It's spring season, but at Oak Lake RV, it's ultralight camper season. Take time to escape to the outdoors today and browse our easy-to-pull campers. From Rockwood Geos to Coachman campers, we have a variety of campers in stock, including all sizes, with low payments starting under $150 a month. Celebrate ultralight camper season. Visit oaklakeRV.com for more details. Oak Lake RV in Moose Lake, family-owned and operated since 1930.
Mariah Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the DW crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on social media and discoverwisconsin.com for behind-the-scenes content and great Wisconsin giveaways, including a chance to win a free vacation. This week's featured prize package could take you to Sparta. Just visit discoverwisconsin.com for details.
When you watched CBS3 Live at 5, you saw the news and weather of the day that affected you most.
Essentia took action.
Elected officials are encouraging everyone to vote.
Race course up the North Shore.
You received a live, local look at what was happening around you, your family, and your
The
neighbors.
city of Hayward competing
For the Redcliffe Band in Wisconsin.
Crafters in Gilbert to a sewing factory.
For stories that are focused on the communities you live and work in, right down to your neighborhood. Continue watching CBS3 Live at 5, weekdays at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
On behalf of the over 400,000 accredited businesses that support our services across North America, BBB salutes those individuals who cannot shelter in place. Many remain on the front lines, delivering essential services, often at great risk and sacrifice, to enrich or save lives in this time of desperate need. Thank you. Eventually, the all clear will sound, and we will begin returning to normal. Hopefully, we will never forget how much we missed our normal while it was away.
Our goal is an environment of decency, quality, and mutual respect for all human beings and all other living creatures. It's tremendously encouraging to see all across this country the remarkable interest on an issue, which is not only just an issue of survival, but an issue of how we survive.
A small idea, a world of change. Join us on April 22nd to commemorate 50 years of Earth Day.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
To spread positivity during the COVID-19 school closure, teachers at the Northeast Range School in Babbitt wanted to show their students how much they miss them. What a better way to do that than hold a parade through their students' neighborhoods. With decorated cars and signs, about 30 cars joined the parade, honking horns and waving to families. Teachers say they are about 2.5 weeks into distance learning, but a big part of school is socializing, so they say a parade was the perfect event.
You know, everybody misses the kids in the class, and it seemed like a good idea to get out in the community and let the kids see that we miss them too.
Seeing our students and our families, telling them that we support them, they're doing a great job, and we're just excited to see them in person instead of through a computer screen.
After driving through Babbitt, they headed to Ely, where a few of their students also live. That's the news for now. Thanks for joining us on this Friday evening, and have a great weekend.